ladies, we have a special guest here from Kenosha who is going to tell us all about Kenosha's inaugural St. Patrick's Day Parade. His family has a history of having a parade and Irish celebration many moons ago. His name is Jon Olson, and he is one of 6 children. He is a born and raised Kenoshan, and I'm going to add no further ado. I would love Jon to come up and please welcome Jon Olson. Thank you, Jon.
Thank you. Said it feels kind of like I'm on The Bachelor here with so many women. All right, so my name, Jon Olson. Like she said, I'm the oldest of 6 kids.
What would be your perfect
I'm also a committee member for the parade. So I don't know if you've all heard about the big parade that's going on downtown Kenosha tomorrow. It starts 8:30 in the morning. We're going to be dyeing the harbor green. So we're hoping it turns green. If it's yellow, we probably won't get to do it again. But, that'll be going on at 8:30. So hopefully by 9 o'clock, it's all nice and green for everybody. At 10 o'clock, there's going to be a Guinness beer run. So right now we have over 220 people that actually signed up for it. So we had to actually cut it off, and we would have had 300. So it starts at Captain Mike's. So you have to drink a pint of Guinness. Then they're going to run to my bar, Swede's, drink a Guinness there. And then they have to go down to Cutstone, drink a Guinness there, and then they run back to Captain.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So there'll be 200 lined up at each spot, so that'll kind of be an interesting thing to watch. Hopefully we don't need the street sweeper afterwards. So that's at 10, so after that is over, at 11 o'clock, then it's the actual big parade. So we've actually been meeting on this for over a year now on the committee. Right now, we were hoping, actually, when we started, we were hoping to get like 30 acts in it, maybe, and we ended up having over 70 right now.
Wow.
So it's been a great response. So yeah, we're going to starts by the boathouse, by the bridge, and then it ends in Library Park. So it'll go right down 6th Avenue there. So we got 10 floats in it right now, and a lot of businesses and people walking in it. So should be fun. And then after that is our kids parade, which I'll get into in here too, which is at Swede's at 1 o'clock. So I guess why I'm here is because the parade is named after my uncle Eric Olson. I don't know if any of you have heard of him before, but so tomorrow is actually the first, they're calling it the inaugural parade, so the first one in the city, which the city has put on, which is true. But the actual first one was back in 1991. So my uncle Eric, he started a bar, it was called Rafferty's. So it was in the old Landmark restaurant. So now it's a church, just I'm not even sure which church it is, but it was down in the basement there. So one year he put on a big St. Patty's Day parade and party. And it just went around Library Park, and actually there was quite a few people in it, but it was called Rafferty's because my grandma and his mother, her name was Helen Rafferty, so that's where all of our Irish heritage comes from. So that's another reason why St. Patty's Day has just always been a big deal for our family. So for also Eric, for decades, he would all bring his friends and family on bus trips to the Chicago parade. So he'd always have big itinerary, he'd have about 10 different bars to hit on the way there, probably 10 on the way back. So his favorite thing was going to those places like a week or so ahead of time, checking them all out and drinks. So he loved doing that. So that's kind of Eric. He loved bringing people together for parties and events. That's why I think this parade, being named in his memory, is kind of a cool thing. Eric he actually passed away 8 years ago, so he was 67 years old. But there's still a lot of things that he did that continue in Kenosha that kind of bring people together. And here's a couple of those things. He actually was on the board of the Boys and Girls Club for a long time. He started the Beer and Cheese Fest that is still going. It's going on for about 20 years now. So it's raised a few $100,000 for the Boys and Girls Club. He was also the founder of the Kenosha Baseball Simmons organization, which kept Simmons Field going when it kind of was left for dead. So he ended up volunteering. He'd actually cut the grass out there by himself. He'd have a cigar smoker fundraiser every year at the Kenosha Kings game. Not the Kingfish, but the Kings. I used to play for the Kings. But I played baseball for a while. So he started that and kept it going until the Kingfish came to Kenosha. So he was actually very influential in bringing them to town. I actually played on the team called the Madison Mallards in the Northwoods League. So the owners of that team, when I played there, were the ones that wanted to start a team in Kenosha. So I kind of knew that knew what they were doing and were good at it. So Eric brought a big group of people from the city, the mayor and everyone up to the Mallards games, showed them how they did everything, and they loved it. So they kind of gave them the approval to come and start the Kenosha Kingfish.
Cool.
So, yeah, he's done a lot. And another thing that he did, he started the Tom and Jerry's party over at TG's. I don't know if any of you have been to that. So he started that. It's been over 25 years ago. So we make, my grandma and grandpa had a homemade recipe for Tom and Jerry's. So he'd give those out in return for donations. He started by collecting like scarves and jackets for kids from First Frank School for a lot of years, and then that kind of turned into donating for veterans. He was actually in the Marine Corps, so he had a big love for all the veterans organizations. So that still actually continues to this day too at Swede's, which I am one of the owners of. I started it with my uncle and my brother. So it's called Swede's, and it's named after Eric. His nickname was Big Swede, even though he's Irish. The big Irish, didn't sound as good. But we also have some Swedish too in us. So yeah, we opened it up about 8 months after he passed away. So yeah, we've been continuing to do that, the Tom and Jerry's every year, and it's always a great turnout. So he was actually 6'8", 300 pounds, if you didn't know who he was. So the name was fitting, very fitting. What else we got here? Actually, yeah, so since we opened Swede's, we've had a big St. Patty's Day party every year. So it's actually our biggest day of the year, and we started doing a kids parade. So it's, yeah, kids any age come with their parents. A lot of young kids, they decorate wagons. We have face painters, so we take them around downtown. So that's kind of how this whole thing got started. To do a bigger parade was 2 years ago on Christmas Eve during the Tom and Jerry's party. Kevin Ervin, the owner of Frank's Diner, came to myself, my uncle, and said, "Would you guys like to do something bigger?" And because he didn't want to take away from what our thing we had, our little kids parade, but I know Eric would have loved it to have something of this magnitude down there. So it's it's a great honor to our family and to him, especially to have this named after him. So hopefully you guys all come and enjoy, and it turns out to be a great thing for everybody. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody have any questions for Jon?
Yes.
Where do we park and which streets will be blocked off?
Okay. All of 6th Ave from by the boathouse where the bridge crossing. I don't know exactly which street that is.
50th, yeah.
50th.
50th Street.
So that'll be closed off all the way down to Library Park. So that should start around 9:30, I believe, is when they're going to be blocking off the roads. And then it'll be blocked off until like an hour and a half after the parade or so, until it's pretty much finished up. There'll actually be two like block parties that'll be blocked off all day. So in front of Swede's from 5th Ave to 6th Ave on 56th Street, we're gonna have a tent in the street and have beer trailer and all that stuff outside of there. And then outside of Captain Mike's, they'll also have theirs blocked off for the whole day. But yeah, parking is just kind of wherever you maybe use that new parking garage.
Yes.
Yeah.
If anybody likes old fashions, they have the best old fashions in Kenosha.
Thank you.
Really?
Yes.
That's
Sweet or
kind of what we're
sour.
known for, yes.
Very good.
Awesome.
What is a
Drink a
Tom
lot
and
of them.
Jerry's?
A Tom and Jerry, okay. A Tom and Jerry is just hot water, and then you choose between brandy, whiskey, or rum, and then there's an egg and sugar mixture that goes on top of it. So I've actually had to make this every year since Eric passed away. So it's, you mix egg whites and granulated sugar and egg yolks and powdered sugar. So you kind of mix it till it's like a stiff peak, and then you fold them together. And you put that right on top of the drink with a little nutmeg on top.
Wow.
It's a hot drink,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Can you
People are
highlight a
feeling-
few of the main acts that will be participating in the parade?
Yes, we are, we'll have a float, our Swedes will have a float in the parade, so we'll have a lot of the grandkids and Olson family will be all taking part in
Will
it.
they hand out candy for the children?
They will hand it out. We're not, technically not supposed to throw candy, I guess,
Yeah.
so we'll
You are
be
not.
handing it out.
Jenny can explain.
No, I think it's stupid.
And
Such a
the
stupid.
Kenosha bagpipes will be there? They're
Yep.
gonna be there, part of the parade too.
Pipes and drums will be in will be leading the whole parade. There's 8 horses will be in the parade.
Oh, wow.
At the end, but yeah, it should be, we'll see. There's supposed to be 10 floats, so I don't know what they're gonna be yet, but it should be
It's gonna be wonderful.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you go through the schedule again?
Okay, 8:30 in the morning, they're gonna do like an opening ceremony at Anna's on the Lake. I'm actually a co-owner of Anna's, so we'll be down there as well. So Anna's my cousin.
Oh.
Okay.
So.
And
she's
Natalie?
And Natalie, yep, they're doing a great job down there. So the mayor will go down there with the chairman of the boat committee, which is, his name's Mick Kelly. He's one of the owners of Captain Mike's. He's actually Irish, like he's got a thick accent, so that's why we picked him to be the head of it. So they're gonna go down and do an opening ceremony. There's gonna be a guy singing a couple Irish songs. And then at 8:30, we have 8 different boats that'll be in the harbor that are gonna be spraying the dye. So we've got like 50 gallons of this dye that goes out, and then the boats will be driving around, mixing it up. And we'll see, it's the first time we've done it, so it'll be a learning experience. But we did a little test run last Sunday, and it turned out really good.
It looked good.
Looked good, so yeah, hopefully it turns
Is this the same kind of dye they do use in Chicago?
So Chicago would not
Sheer.
inform us on that. It's a very highly it's a secret. So we've actually talked to Tampa Bay does it. They've been doing it
Okay.
for like 16 years. So we went over it with them,
Yeah.
what they do.
Because obviously it's got to be non-toxic to...
No, it's very toxic. You'll probably see fish float. So,
All right, and then the Guinness run starts at 10,
10
and then the parade goes off at 11.
at 11
Okay.
And then
So-
the kids' parade is at
1
1
o'clock
at Swedes.
at Swedes.